Darby here from CrossFit South Bend. I'm here with Lauren, who just completed our 90-day nutrition coaching challenge, and today we're going to talk about her results. So first of all, Lauren, thanks so much for coming. So Lauren just lost 17 pounds, an inch off her waist, and 3.5 inches off her hips. So congratulations, you did a fantastic job. I want to start off by asking you, what did you think about the whole 90 before you started? Like when you heard what you were going to be eating, did you think it was crazy? Or were you like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do that? What did you think?
Sure, well, it was really difficult at first. I thought it would be hard to adjust to, but I figured I could probably do it. I was also brand new to CrossFit, basically at the same time I started the whole 90, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do CrossFit, I might as well just go all in and see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So once you actually started the whole 90 between January and now, what changed? What was your experience like? How did things progress from I'm not sure I can do this to now?
It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. There were tough times, and that seemed to be more when I was with other people. But since I live alone, it was really easy when I was at home because I could control all the food that comes into my house and exactly what I eat. And so that part was really easy. But going out to eat and ordering a salad and a sweet potato wasn't the most exciting meal, even though it was much cheaper.
Yeah.
And my whole 90 was more complicated because I don't eat meat. So other folks won't have such a hard time, I think. But it still worked out. I'm glad I did it.
Okay, good. So that's definitely one of the things that I wanted to highlight, especially with Lauren. When a lot of times people will say if they're vegetarian or vegan that they can't do something like a whole 90 or a whole 30. You did it, and you did an awesome job with it. So how was that navigating doing something like the whole 30 and the whole 90 with being a vegetarian?
Well, I remember talking to you before I signed up to see if it was even doable, and you said we could modify it a little bit. So I did eat beans. I ate a lot of eggs. I don't know how someone could do this if they don't like eggs, if they are a vegetarian, because there were a lot of eggs.
Yeah, a lot of eggs.
But I think it was pretty good, and I would recommend it to folks. That there's it seems really restrictive, but there's still options. There's a lot more things in the grocery store than what you normally would buy, I guess, or think about buying that fit into the whole 90 or the whole 30.
Okay, good. And I mean, one of the things that we like to emphasize here is that paleo, people tend to think of paleo as like a ribeye on a stick, just lots of meat, but really it's a qualitarian diet that focuses on real whole food and veggies and fruits and all the rest of that are really big part of that. But really, another really unique thing about you doing the whole 90 was that you had to drive a ton for work. So on average, what would you say in a week you're driving?
Maybe 500 miles some weeks, maybe sometimes more, sometimes less. So there's a lot of meals in my car, or I used to stop at McDonald's and take advantage of the new all-day breakfast menu. And now I'm not eating Egg McMuffins, and I feel a lot better, even if it does mean nuts and hard-boiled eggs or a sweet potato in the car. It's worth it. It's doable. You don't always have to be at home to eat. You can eat in your car.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Again, a lot of people will say, man, I drive a lot for work. I just don't have time to prep things at home. I don't know how many people watching this video have ever driven 500 miles in a week. Weren't you recently saying that you drove 1,000 miles?
That happened recently.
So crazy. So if you're saying to yourself, man, I can't do this because I drive so much for work, Lauren is proof that you actually can. And you did. I mean, Lauren had one of the best food journals I've ever seen throughout the entire whole 90, so you did a fantastic job with that.
I stayed away from complicated recipes, so I wasn't spending a lot of time on prep. I did a lot of microwave sweet potatoes, and I discovered that sweet potatoes are good when they're not covered in butter and sugar, so it's a good option. I'd never done that before.
Yeah, sweet potatoes, and that's one of the things people say a lot. They'll say carrots, I didn't realize they were sweet, or sweet potatoes just by themselves, they can be sweet, so that's awesome. In terms of your results and finishing this up now, how are you feeling? How are clothes fitting? How's your mood? How's energy? How are cravings? How are all those things going now that you're done with the 90 days?
Feel 100% better. Mood's better, more energy. My skin is clearer than it was before. I used to live in a big city where I did a lot of walking and was not in a car. I didn't even own a car.
Yeah.
And that changed last summer, and so I spent the fall gaining weight, I think, and getting bad habits and not exercising. And so in January I wanted to change that, and I didn't think there would be a way to get results so fast. And then the whole 90 and CrossFit happened, and things are great, and clothes fit better, or don't fit at all now because they're too big.
Yeah.
And so it's it's been great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, having gone through all of this, now, is this something that you think you would recommend to people? Do you feel like, on balance, it's worth the trade-offs? Do you feel like, spending a little bit more time with food prep is worth the benefits?
Definitely. Going into it, when I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to sign up, probably most people consider, could I just do this on my own and just try to eat cleaner? And I didn't think I could be accountable to myself, and I'm glad I signed up and did it, and it was worth it. So I definitely recommend it. Just go for it.
Awesome. So again, I just want to congratulate Lauren. She seriously had one of the best food journals I've ever seen consistently throughout the whole 90. She did it as a vegetarian, and she had to drive an insane amount for work each week, and a whole 90 by itself is incredible on its own, but with those other two conditions, I think it's even more impressive. So congratulations again. Thanks so much for coming in, Lauren. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.